guys, are you new in Australia? Are you a newbie? Are you looking for how to get your first job in Australia? Looking for how to land your first job in Australia? You've been hearing a lot of people mention these different things. They've been telling you to check here, check that, but you're looking for the right place to search. You're looking for the right job to do. Looking for a job you can start now. Then this is the video for you. Stick around and get to know the ABCs on how to land your first job in Australia. Keep watching. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Adriel, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. So I'm going to keep saying welcome to Australia, to the newbies in town. I'm excited. I'm always excited every time I record a video, but welcome to Australia. It's raining cat and dogs these days. I hope everyone is safe. I hope you have an easy mode of transportation. Even if you're on the roads, please drive safely, and I hope everyone's actually just generally keeping safe. I'm just going to be doing one of the most requested videos, which is how to get my first job, how to get a job. I get a lot of, oh, Adriel, how did you get your first job in Australia? I take a deep breath because I don't know where to start from. This topic, I was not going to really touch on it because I don't even think that I'm still working in a, like, I don't even think I'm working my dream job yet. I'm making money. Of course, like I can survive, or at least I am surviving. I get it, but like the job that I really want in my heart is not what I'm doing at the moment. But the work I'm doing is putting food on the table, paying my bills, and stylish. I'm not living a baby girl lifestyle yet, but it's coming soon. But anyhow, getting my first job in Australia, or getting your first job in Australia. First question is, I'm going to ask is, what does your CV look like? A lot of people say they're applying to a lot of places and they're not getting callbacks, or they're not getting interviews. The question is, what does your CV look like? Your CV matters a lot because they actually look at your experience. Unlike other countries whereby maybe in like Nigeria, most times they actually look at you. I'm not generalizing, at least the places that I apply to or the places that I know of, they look at your degree. Some top companies in Nigeria will not hire you if you don't have like a 2-1 minimum, so they take your results, your grades, to a peak. But here that's not the case. I won't say they don't look at your grades, but they look at your experience more than they look at your grades. Doesn't mean you should come and flunk your studies, but they look at your experience. So this is where your CV actually comes to play. So now I'm going to start with your first job. Your first job once you arrive. Once I arrived, I was looking for admin roles because I felt like, I was working in HR for a real estate company in Nigeria, and I felt like I was doing, I'm doing pretty good for myself. And then by the time I came here, I did not want to go down. I didn't want to downgrade myself. So I was looking for admin roles and I wasn't getting any. Of course, my CV was to play with that also. And a lot of people were telling me that, if you're looking for quick jobs, they're obviously quick jobs. Now, what I mean by quick jobs is that there's one type of job that is always going to be available, which is warehouse. I would say 80% of international students that first come into the country, 80%, I did not say 100, 80% did warehouse when they first arrived in Australia. Warehouse is always going to be there. Warehouse will always take you. Warehouse doesn't pay as much as some other jobs, but pays higher than some jobs, some white collar jobs. Warehouse is graded as blue collar, but there are some jobs that it earns more than, they pay better. And in one of my first videos, I said something about dignity of labor. So it doesn't really matter about what job you're doing, as long as you're being paid. Everybody respects everybody. No one is looking at you that, you work in warehouse, and I work in a bank, so technically we're not on the same level. They don't do that here, because some people in warehouse are earning more than some people in a bank. Best believe it. Anyhow, so I'm just going to start up with warehouse. So warehouse is a pretty quick job. They're always looking for people. You don't need too much experience, but in your CV, you need to show them that you have experience. So you have to create a CV to work for that role. So technically, but warehouse is one of the fastest jobs that you will get. It's always available. They always need people. They always, And then online, when you're searching for it, you check places like Indeed, Seek, the same places where you check for, say, banking jobs or IT jobs, the same place you actually check for warehouse jobs. Keywords could be pick packers, and these jobs actually go for $25 per hour, $26 per hour, $27 per hour, $28 per hour, 29. Some of them even go for 30 if you know how to drive a forklift. Some forklift drivers earn at least even $32 per hour, depending on the company that you're working for, or if you're working for an agency. It all depends on, it's all dependent on that. So when I first came, I wanted the admin job that I did not get, and after over 2 months of dilly-dallying and spending almost all the money that I came with, my friend at that time was actually doing a warehouse job, and she had been telling me, but I was like, nah, I'm not going to do warehouse, because I was still looking at it from that perspective of, why would I do warehouse? Do you know where I'm coming from? Please ask me, what do I have? What do I have? I was just basically saying, I'm not going to do this. I'm not I'm not doing this job. I'm going to find a company that I can work for. Don't get me wrong, people actually get companies that can work for. People get admin jobs and start out small and then grow. I know people that never did warehouse. I have a friend that she has never done warehouse. When she came to Australia, she didn't go for warehouse. She was determined to get the job that she wanted. It took a minute, but then she got it. Different strokes for different folks. Your case could be different. I'm just giving based on my own experience and what my case was. So warehouse is one of those jobs you actually get first. Easy to get if you're looking for, I want to come into the country and I need money now. Warehouse is the job that you go to. Another job you can also do, which a lot of Africans do that job, is being a support worker, or some people say carer. Being a carer is you're basically taking care of somebody. So they have two types. It's individual support, which is disability, or you could do it could be an aged care worker. So simply put, you can be a carer. You take care of people with disability. You work under an NDIS registered company, and you basically do this. But it's not as easy as it sounds. You have to. There are a lot of checks involved, and a lot of time people don't like to. I think from the checks alone and from the certification, because you cannot just go there and just start taking care of people with disability or aged care. You have to know their care plans. You have to know how to give medication. What if you're working with a client with epilepsy? What if you're working with... So it's like slightly doing a bit of assistance in nursing. So you have to know all these things. And for that, you have to go for the training. The training is a certification. So at the end of the training, you get, a certificate 3 in individual support, or you get a certificate 3 in aged care, or like me, you get a certificate 3 in individual support and aged care. This gives you better advantage when you're trying to find a job. This job, now you also find it on Indeed and on Seek, the same place where you find these other jobs from. I'm going to put the link to Indeed and Seek down below. Just is www.indeed.com.au or www.seek.com.au. You find these jobs there under keywords such as disability support worker, aged care worker, carer, support worker, like that. You find it. One of the things you actually need for these jobs are you need a police check, you need a working with children check, you need a NDIS support workers check, you need the certificate 3, you need to take a course in first aid, you need to take another course in CPR. Are we seeing where all the qualifications come from? Then when you are under an organization, that's when you start doing training on how to give insulin for diabetic patients, epilepsy management, medication care, things like that. But while you do all this course, it's 3 months, depending on what you're doing, it's a 3 to 6 months course. After you get the certification, then you can start working in this field. The only problem is that a lot of organizations would want to know that you have a car, and not just a car, but a car with license. You could use your Nigerian license for the meantime, but ultimately you would need to change your license from the Nigerian license to the Australian license. But you need a car for this job, because sometimes you need to carry your clients for community access, or for just community access, or to maybe appointments and things like that. You will need a car to transport. And if you do not have the Australian license, companies might not want to send you out with a client, because if something happens to their clients, they can't claim insurance if you do not have the Australian license. So technically, you will not be able to get longer shifts if you don't have that. Not even longer shifts. It depends on the company you're actually even working for. You might actually even get shifts, but you won't get any shift that would have to drive. And if you're driving a client, you get paid for your the KMs that you use, you get paid for distance, things like that. Are we calculating the money here? Yeah. Lastly, depending on the type of job that you want, if you're sticking with admin job, Indeed and Seek is also the best place for you to go through. You can check LinkedIn. LinkedIn is super good for professional jobs. I'm explaining this based on if you are a new student in Australia, an immigrant just coming, you're not skilled, you don't have the employer's visa, work visa, if you don't have a PR, if you are not a citizen, you know, this is worst case scenario. I'm a new student in Australia. What do? I need a job. You know, the first two pretty much recommended. Disability takes a bit of time because of all the checks and the certifications that you have to do. Yeah, but then long run it actually pays better than the warehouse, and it's a lot less stressful depending on the warehouse that you're doing. Sometimes the warehouse you get to stand for at least 8 hours. Doesn't mean you're standing in one place, it could mean that you're standing in one place. It also depends on the company that you're working for. If you're required to move around, if you're required to stand in one place, or if you're if you are required to carry heavy objects, for required to drive a forklift, you know, things like that. If I can find a clip from when I used to work at warehouse, I'm going to post it up. I hustled, man. If I find a clip, I'm gonna post it up and just show you, you know, how you have to dress. You have to wear the visibility, high visibility vest, protective shoes. You know, it's the hustle, it's the ghetto. But yeah, making money.
Oh my gosh, I actually remember this very day. I was taking this video for the major because I was just cracking up on how I look like a guy in this whole outfit. I remember this job. It was a warehouse where I was working in a cold room with my Nigerian friend, and it was also winter, so it was extra cold. Oh my God, I can't believe I did that job, but it was one of the worst jobs I did.
Yeah, but for your first job, the first two are what to consider. If you're looking for a job now, warehouse is the type of job that you can apply today and get, you know, a call tomorrow morning and you're working night shift already. You know, disability takes a bit of time because of all the checks that you need, you know, but it's also a job that if you have done while you're doing your certificates, you would actually even do an, you know, placement. That placement, you get to work in a group home or a hospital and you get shown the ropes. You get taught terminologies, medical terminologies. You get taught on what to look out for. You know, it's to prepare you for the actual role, because trust me, it's not as easy as it sounds. You know, it's more than just caring for a person, but you're caring for people in different conditions, and you have to know how to care for those people. For more professional roles, I would say Seek and Indeed should be your best friend. Ensure that your CV is up to par, very professional. If you can afford for someone to actually check for your CV, send it to someone to check for it. They have so many will I say applications, or online companies actually help reconstruct your CVs or check for errors in your CVs. Do not use the same CV you're using from your country or from Nigeria and come and think that, you know, that's the same CV that's going to work here. No, you have to ensure that you find out the layout of what employers are looking for, the type of CVs that they want in Australia. Ensure that you have ensure that you redefine your CV and then you put out your applications. There are even some companies that would even help you submit applications to companies related to whatever field that you're studying. Of course, at a token, but you know, they would help you submit it. Most of the time, what they would do is that once you've put in your application and maybe you have been shortlisted, you get a call back. They will call, maybe if it's an agency, they talk to you over the phone before redirecting you to maybe the hiring manager in a company, and ensure that you sell yourself well. Be confident, show them that you have experience, show them that you know what you're talking about. You know, don't overplay yourself, do not also, you know, short play yourself. And then you actually get the job. Also, when you are doing your interview, a lot of times they're going to ask you for how much you want. Even before you get to the hiring manager, the agents will ask you how much is your, but not like your budget, but like how much are you looking to be paid, you know, and then they'll tell you that, okay, for this particular role in this organization, we're not willing to pay more than 70k or 75. Is this something that you're willing to do? Try to make your research about your whatever organization that you're searching for, because sometimes they try to lowball you and you can find out that, you know, in an organization for a role that pays 90k per year plus super is like your benefits, like pension, and maybe like, yeah, super is like your benefits, like pension. So they will say plus super 90k. Meanwhile, that role is probably going for 90k without super. So you get. So try to do your research, check their apps, like I think it's Glassdoor, and I think there's one now I've been seeing around, which is a Fishbowl or something like that. It tells you how much a role in a particular organization is worth, or is valued at, so that you can put yourself in that place, and so that you're not lowballed. So even when you get the job, you're paid the right amount, you're paid your value. I hope that we understand that. I'm trying not to dance around or make this video too long, but I hope that we've been able to gain something from this. So for your first jobs, work on your CV. Try not to send the same CV to everybody, because there are a lot of applications that HR companies or the HR department uses, and then if your CV doesn't have the keywords that they're looking for, it's not even going to get to the hiring manager. It's not even going to get to a physical person, because this is just a computer, and then you'll be eliminated before a physical person or a human can basically read your application. So always go back to the application, read through the application, and try to see, okay, am I mentioning the keywords that they need? Do I have what they need? Or just put it in. Sometimes the position that you're applying for might be something that you have experience in, but it might just be a different name. So you can take, I'm not saying go and reduce your CV, but I'm just saying that you can change the name to fit. Don't over qualify yourself, because then you'll be looking stupid by the time you get to the organization, and then you don't know what you're doing, or during the interview when they're asking you questions and you don't know anything. Try and practice also. Look in the mirror. I do that every time I look in the mirror. I try to practice questions that could possibly be asked. I look at YouTube and look at the role that I'm applying for, and look at questions that are being asked in interviews, and try to practice those answers or practice those questions of myself, so that if I'm being asked those questions, I know the response to give. If you're applying and you're not getting a response, it's not the end of the world. Keep applying. Somebody's going to see your talent. But before you complain that nobody's answering me, ensure that your whole packaging is set. Ensure that it's set. Like, ensure that you're bulletproof. Like, the only reason why they're not answering is because they haven't seen it. You get like that. So I was going to do like a mini story time about that, but I'm not going to do that today, because if I do my story time, it's going to be too long. I hope this gives a perspective on how you can search for a first job in Australia. So if you're looking for warehouse jobs, even Facebook, you can find it through Facebook. Be careful with Facebook Market, so that be careful with Facebook. There are a lot of scammers, so be super careful with Facebook, so that you're not caught off guard and somebody doesn't come and cheat you, because there are a lot of scammers on Facebook. Also, so you can check, if you're looking for warehouse, check Facebook Market, you check Seek, check Indeed. You would find something there. And then for support workers role, you can also even check LinkedIn. You can check organizations that are hiring. Seek, Indeed too. Professional white collar jobs, Indeed, Seek, LinkedIn should be your best friend at this point. If you want a job, say Amazon, go and search for the HR person Amazon, or check for Amazon jobs on LinkedIn. See it, ask around, talk to your friends, talk to people that know people. If you are referred, it's even the best for you. Most of this time, these organizations might not even be putting out a role, but the people in the company will know that the role is up. So you have to be talking. Don't come and imbibe that act of, oh, I want to keep it hush hush. Yeah, keep it hush hush, but if you're in a foreign country, you have to open your mouth and talk. Say what you need. You don't know who is beside you. You don't know who has the connect. Speaking up helps you a lot. So if you got to the end of this video, thank you for staying to the end. Do not forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, do not forget to click on the notification bell while you're down there. Thank you, and see you in my next one.